This is Leadership Sound Bites. Real leaders, real moments, real growth.
Leadership is more than strategy. It's mindset. It is resilience. It is courage. It is growth. And often, the lessons that shape us most are the ones that challenge us to think differently, to grow intentionally, and to lead with purpose. Here are 10 leadership lessons that might just change how you lead.
Why don't we define what success looks like for ourselves and go after it and be okay with that and have the courage to do that? And it is scary because you might be going against the grain if you're doing something differently. But she wrote about being on autopilot in our jobs and our lives every day, and that hit me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been an autopilot. And it's the pause, it's the reflection, and to get from like all the overthinking about what can be better. And I work with so many clients, and they could be working on a new resume or a new job or a promotion or to be heard a little bit more in the office. But it's like all this overthinking and being so deeply embedded in your thoughts. And working with a coach or talking it out loud to something can give it legs and give it that little bit of courage. And I see it so much when people are able to do that.
I would say there's two things in life we actually have choice or control over. The first one I learned from a guy called Viktor Franklin, who survived the war. He wrote a very, very famous book. And even though he was in concentration camps or whatever, he said the one thing they could never take away from him was his attitude. And so even if you're about to die, you can choose to do that gracefully or go screaming or whatever, or do both or whatever. And so our attitude, and I've used that a lot. Like I went running 2 days ago, I did 22K, that's my long run. And in the last 1.5K, it started pelting rain out of the sky. And then I said, I won't repeat the exact words, but it wasn't nice words to the big universe up there. And then I realized, hold on, I'm sweating like a pig and it's raining and cooling me down. And within 2 seconds I went, thank you.
We can all do hard things.
Telling myself the most out loud because I've had to like repeat a lot of things like, oh, I made this thing, it's done. And then like computer crap, whatever. And I've been saying this so much in front of my kids. It's really for me, but I'm like, I want them to learn this. Like keep saying, I can do hard things. I can do hard things. I can do hard things. And you can do hard things.
Yeah. Things are hard until they're not. Things are hard until they're not. And the other thing that comes to mind for me is that I heard someone say is, well, it'll be easier next year. No, it never gets easier. We get better at doing hard. We get better at doing hard. And so I totally agree.
Well, wait, you want me to think it's going to be okay, but what if it's not okay? Mm-hmm. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Or what if it is okay and that, right? I agree with you. However, I have seen it time and time again from so many people. You know, I've had several clients on, I never want to sound insensitive, on their way to taking their own lives. And to now we're having conversations, and this isn't about me, it's about putting the work in and being so depressed or stressed or in misery, to now having, we put such high expectations on what we want to be in control of, and maybe not the fairy tale that they want, but now living at least where they never thought they would be and thriving.
Can you just take pride in the fact that you navigated the journey that you went through? We can't undo mistakes that we made, choices that we make in the past. We can't undo them. We can make the decision to draw the line in the sand to say from this point forward, that's not me today. But I'm going to tell you 100%, Israel, if you hadn't gone through what you went through, you wouldn't be able to connect with the people that you're connecting with at the level that you're connecting with them. So it's the relatability, it's the credibility, right? And then when people feel that, we're able to help them at a different level because they let their guard down.
I love the whole comparison game, the whole call out to avoid it. The thing that we want to compare ourselves to is ourselves, right? And so I think just to
piggyback on what you just said, is it's important to ask yourself as a leader, what's different, right? What's different today than what it was before? Because we have these little installments of learning the stuff that goes on. And different doesn't mean that you're necessarily doing something differently. Different could be as you're now aware of something that you weren't aware of before. So I think it's important for us as we're going along, because sometimes we feel like we're failures, right? Because we haven't changed. But if we're now aware of things, please celebrate that, because that's what's different. Because then you're actually able to do something different when you're aware of it.
The lessons we learn shape more than just who we become. They prepare us for how we serve others.
Don't wait to get tapped.
Have a conversation with your 1F, and I encourage people to do it, that if you're ready for more, and you don't have to know what more means. So that, because the thing that I'll point out for you, Eric, Baljeet, there's going to be few tables that you don't have a seat at that, are above you, or, that you report to. But there are people in other venues having conversations about where the organization is going to go, the strategy around it, what kind of people we need, what's going on. And as long as we can throw our hat in the ring or express interest that we're ready for more, and it could be, I'm going to stay in the role I'm in, and I'm going to expand my scope, and I'll take on more, right? But I think part of it too is knowing yourself enough to know when you're ready for more, whatever that may look like.
You've been blessed with talents, ideas, and unique abilities that have gotten you to where you are in life. And these gifts were given to you so you could share them with others. There are people today who need what you have, and they are waiting for you to find your voice so you can help them change their lives. What a tragedy for them if you don't develop your voice now. That's one of my favorite quotes.
What did that do for you?
It gave me permission to realize that I lack nothing to go out and serve people right now.
If you have priorities, you don't have a priority. And I thought about your introduction, Michelle, and it's spot on. It's what's in Outlook, what's in email, how many text messages do I have? Are those the things that are most important to reach your goals, your personal, professional goals, and your organizational goals? And can we keep the main thing the main thing? It's hard to do because there's so many places that are pulling. We have to decide what's our greatest impact. I work in a job where I don't make anything. I don't have a product that I get paid to hand you. My time, what I'm compensated for. And it's my responsibility to make sure that I use that in a very intentional way.
Skip levels are so important. It's so important, to your point too, is to set the intention around it, because depending on what org you're in and you do a skip level, you've got to let your direct reports know that you're doing it. While you're doing it, you're not spying on them or anything else, but you're actually trying to get to know the team that reports to them, to provide more support, and them to get to know you a little bit better, right? It creates that open communication, the awareness of what people are up against in a way that you can't just get through, like the telephone game. Leadership is not about having all the answers. It is about how we continue to learn, grow, and show up for ourselves and the people around us.